These are the stories of those who have had very uncomfortable experiences. Welcome to Foggy Nights. We lived in a place though it was right near a river. All year round we were able to go fishing. It was nice being able to go get the fish and stuff we needed for food that would last us throughout the year. Oftentimes we caught salmon. Living up in Alaska, it was always easy to catch salmon. Granted, we had to be careful of brown bears. They were always lurking around somewhere in the woods. One of these days I just decided to go fishing by myself. I didn't tell anybody where I was going. As soon as I got down there by the water and baited my hook, threw it in the river, stood there for a moment taking in all the scenic beauty. It was nice. We had moved up from down south in the USA. Well, I guess you could say we were still in the USA. After all, it's Alaska. But it felt like a whole different country. Where we were down south, everything was different. I mean, how many places can you live where it's practically 6 months of dark, 6 months of light, but just a few hours in between throughout the year of light and day in each 6 month cycle. Anywho, I made sure to stay there, and a couple hours passed and I was starting to lose my patience. Before I know it, I felt my hook caught on something. So I decided to wind it in, and as I wound it in, it got heavier and heavier and started pulling me toward the water, and well, I had to pull that much harder just to get it out. As it got closer, I started to realize I hadn't caught a fish. What I caught was some kind of vessel. A vessel like I had never seen before. It was nice. Of course, it was kind of dirty from being in the water. But I hauled it in, picked it up, wiped all of the water sludge off of it. Never seen nothing like it before in my life. Of course, it was a closed canister. I decided to take it on home. So I threw it in my bag and went back to fishing some more, because on this particular night, me and my family was having a nice little get together and having some extra folks over, and we just didn't know how many people would actually show up, so we didn't want to be short-handed, leaving anybody hungry. As I went on fishing, I ended up catching 3 fish. Yes, I caught 3 salmon. I was satisfied. Felt like I'd done my job and now I was ready to go home. I walked inside and told my wife I caught 3 fish in some kind of jar. As she tells me from the kitchen, "Hold on, give me a minute, I'll be there just to see what you got, sweetie." I said, "All right, I'm gonna get comfortable." I started taking off my boots, leaving them by the door, not wanting to track mud everywhere. Dog comes over to greet me. Beautiful golden retriever. Had her about 9 years now. Healthy and clean as can be. Guess you could say she's sort of the apple of my eye, as me and my wife couldn't have children. She comes over and she takes the fish and takes them into the kitchen, and I follow her, carrying my backpack. And as I sat down at the kitchen table, I open it up and I take out the vessel. As soon as I take it out, before she even looks over at the table, she turns around and gives me a strange look, and then looks at the vessel on the table and says, "The hell is that?" I don't know. I was fishing and caught something on the hook. I thought it was a fish, but then as I started pulling it in more and more, I realized it wasn't a fish and it was this. Looks like it could be pretty nice if we clean it off, maybe. Yeah, we probably could clean it off, but I don't know why. I just get a bad feeling from it. Do you really want to keep it, or do you think it's better to take it back and throw it back in the water? Oh, sweet pie, what are you talking about? It's just a jar of some type. It's a jar of some type, but I ain't getting good vibes from it. I tell you that much. Fish? Fish feel fine. That jar there on the table, it don't feel fine. Why'd you bring it home? Well, because I fished it out and I thought that it was nice. I thought maybe I'd clean it off, maybe give it to you or something. Heck, I don't know. It looks like something a dead person would probably be put in after they've been made into ashes. I picked it up and shook it around near my ear. It definitely did sound like something was inside. As I'm shaking it, she's walking over to me closer and closer and taking a closer look. She begins to ask me, "How the hell did you even fish it out of the water? What the hell was there for the hook to get caught on? There ain't nothing for it to grab." That was something I hadn't even thought about. Maybe it picked me and I didn't pick it. Well, that's more reason why you probably should have left it then. After all, we're out looking for fish and picking them. We're not picking out trash out of the river. The vessel shook around on the table a little bit. We both looked at it. I looked at her, she looked at me. We were quiet for just a little bit. I shook it off and said, "Well, anywho, I'm going to take it on into the bathroom and I'm going to clean it up a little bit." She said, "All right, well, you do that. You do that and you make sure you keep it away from me, all right? Because I don't trust it and something just don't feel right about it. And I'm not sure what it is, but I don't want anything to do with it. And if I find it anywhere where you're not nearby, I'm telling you now to your face, I will be throwing it out. And I don't mean just outside. I mean, I'm getting in the car. I'm driving for a while. And I'm going to make sure I throw it somewhere over a cliff." As she turns around and walks back to the sink. Go back to preparing the fish for dinner tonight. From there, I take it into the bathroom. I start washing it with soap and water, and as I'm washing it, all the dirt and slime and crud is just coming off so beautifully. Well, pardon me, but I almost feel like I'm falling more and more in love with it. Water comes on, and as it's flowing, it starts flowing harder and faster. More of it coming out of the pipe like it never had before. I look at the vessel and I look at the water. I almost go into a little trance. For some reason, I'm standing there just looking at the water come out of the faucet from the bathroom. And out of nowhere, I hear my wife call me, "Jim!" I snap out of it and I look up. I'm like, "What? What, woman? Why are you calling me like that?" She's standing there looking at me like she's seen a ghost. And she says, "I called you for 5 times and you were just staring at the water like you weren't even there. Where the hell did you just go?" "I've been here the whole time. What are you talking about?" As I'm holding the vessel in my left hand and the toothbrush in my right. "I'm right here, sweetie. There's nothing wrong. I'm fine." "Fine? You've been in here for 20 minutes. 20 minutes? What are you talking about? I only came in here a few minutes ago." "Jim, you've been in here 20 minutes now. And I called you for 10 just in the last minute or so. I've been standing here watching you. You're definitely here with me, but in your head, I don't know where the hell you went. I'm telling you, I don't like that damn vessel and I want you to get rid of it." I look back at the vessel in my left hand. It's shining now. It's glistening, gleaming. It's white with gold all over it, and it's beautiful blue color I ain't never seen before in my life. Almost like a nice royal blue. Looks like he's Egyptian or something. She's standing there still in the doorway. I look up at her and she tells me, "We got 2 guests downstairs. They've already arrived for our dinner party. 2 more are on the way. I need help setting up the table. You mind putting your toothbrush away, putting your little vessel away, somewhere away from me? Come in and help me get set up so we can have a nice night tonight, if you don't mind. Also, I need wood for the fireplace. It's going to be getting cold." She turns around and she walks away. I take the vest with me as I go out of the bathroom. Turn off the light, turn off the water. and for some reason in my head I still hear the water flowing. Before turning off the light, I look back one more time. The water's off, but I can still hear it flowing for some reason. I decide to go to our bedroom, put it in the closet somewhere where she don't have to see it. I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable. Set it up on the top shelf behind some boxes, and as I move the boxes back in front of it and get ready to close the door, I hear something whisper my name. I immediately stop walking and I turn around and look at the closet, and it's just the way I left it. I shake my head thinking my mind's playing tricks on me, and I continue to leave the room, and again I hear a whisper, this time like it's right up on my neck, and I feel a cold breeze go across it. I snap around and I look back at the closet again, and I don't see nobody there. But now I'm starting to get this eerie feeling. My wife's words echo in my mind. If you're going to keep it, you make sure you keep it where you are and keep it away from me. Otherwise, I'm going to get in the car, drive it someplace, throw it over a cliff. Not in those words, but you get the point. Anyway, I decide to go on and leave the bedroom, close the door, and head downstairs. We end up having a nice night with our friends. Fish was great. Wife always cooks a nice dinner. After drinking some wine and enjoying ourselves, I still can't get the flow of that water out of my mind. And I still can't get the thought out of my head of something whispering my name and blowing on the back of my neck. Anyway, I played the part I need to for the night. Around midnight, everyone's leaving and I'm helping her clean up. I'm almost tempted to tell her how, after cleaning that damn thing and drying it off and putting it away, I could have sworn I heard something call my name. But I didn't want to freak her out because I already know she didn't like it, and she didn't like it in the house, and God knows if I told her where it was, I wouldn't see it again. So she asked me on her own. We're standing there washing dishes together. Where's your little pot at? What little pot? You know, little pot you fished out of the river today. The one I don't like and the one I don't want in this house, but you're so determined to keep. Oh, it's put away out of your sight. You don't have to worry about it, darling. It's gonna be alright. Sure enough, she gets quiet. She's washing and scrubbing and passing me dishes to rinse, and I'm drying. I look at her and she won't look at me. She's got this look on her face like she is not having it. She's quiet for a moment, and I asked her, how was dinner tonight? Did you enjoy yourself? I sure did. I enjoyed myself just fine. And I noticed how you kept zoning out while trying to act like you were with us when you really weren't here. Oh, you were enjoying yourself. How'd you notice all of that? Because there's something in my house that I don't like and I don't want here. Where did you put it, Jim? It's put away, honey. It's put away, all right? Don't worry about it. She shakes her head. She washes the last cup, hands it to me, turns the faucet on my side to rinse and dry. She walks away from me. As she walks away, she's getting ready to go into the living room. She stops in the doorway, and without turning to me, she just says, if that thing is in our bedroom, I'm not sleeping in there with you tonight. Let me know now so I know if I need to have a pillow to myself down here on the couch. Because I want to be as close to the door to get the hell out of here if I need to. I start laughing. Darling, will you just calm down? You're taking things just a little bit too serious. Look, it's a pretty little vase. We'll crack it open later. We'll see what's inside. Dump the contents out. Maybe do a little hooju-vooju on it and clean it up real nice. What, you want to go to like a shaman or something? You want to take it to a voodoo doctor and make sure they cleanse it? She turns around and she looks at me and says, the last thing I want to do, Jim, is open that damn thing in this house or anywhere else near me. Why are you so into it anyway? I sent you out to fish, not to bring back tokens from the river. She walks away, shaking her head and scoffing at me like I was a dumbass. Anyway, she goes into our bedroom. Sure enough, as I'm following behind her, she comes out, pushing past me, not even saying goodnight, with a pillow and a blanket. I stand there in the hallway and look like, oh, come on, sweetheart. You gotta be joking me. Are you serious? I know it's in the closet. I know it's in the closet and you're not fooling me. How do you know it's in the closet? I didn't even tell you it was there. I know it's in the closet, Jim. Where else do you hide things? When you're at work, who do you think does the cleaning and the dusting? It's not you. That's where I find all your magazines. She walks on down the hall and I'm just standing there, feeling a little bit small, but I look inside of the bedroom and sure enough, there's the bed with one pillow and one blanket for me. I yell down the hall, sweetheart, are you really going to make me spend the night alone up here by myself? We had a nice night. If you don't want to be by yourself, then I suggest you come on down here and sleep on the couch with me because I'm not going to be anywhere near that thing as long as it's in this house. I respect her. I let her sleep on the couch by herself. Being the man I am, I go downstairs and check all the windows and all the doors and make sure they're locked. I even go back upstairs and grab a baseball bat out of the closet and stick it under the couch for her just in case if she feels like she might need to protect herself throughout the night and I'm not there fast enough to help her. We never have any problems or issues, no one breaking in, but still, it's my woman. A man's job is to protect his wife. But I want to be in the bed, not on that couch. So I go back upstairs, close the door, hop in bed, put the blanket over me, turn off the light, and I put my back toward the closet, ready to close my eyes and go to sleep. As I'm dozing off to sleep out of nowhere, here it comes again. That same damn whisper, calling my name. Jim. My eyes go flying open, looking around in the dark, shifting back and forth. I lay there for a minute, and I think to myself, it's all in your head, Jim. It's all in your head. Ain't nothing going on. It's all in your head. I decided to shake it off and go back to sleep because after all, it's just a glass vessel. What's the worst that could be? Some dead guy in there full of ashes? Somebody tried to pour him out and maybe they slipped? I ain't gonna let it bother me. Besides, I don't believe in that stuff no way. As soon as I'm dozing off again, I can almost feel someone tugging the blanket behind me, thinking that my wife has gotten in the bed. I'm reaching behind me and I feel that backside of hers that I absolutely love. Squeezing it, feeling it. Feels nice and round. I began to tell her, now I thought you were going to stay downstairs on the couch tonight. Looks like somebody got mighty lonely. Now you want some warming love? I got you for you. I definitely got it for you. I turn over and sure enough, the blankets are all ruffled and pushed up against me, but ain't nobody there. Ain't no damn body there. I look up at the closet and a little bit of light's coming in through the window. Damn closet door is standing open. It's dark inside. Cold chill goes down my spine and I ain't gonna tell you a lie. I am damn scared at this moment and damn scared to get up. Reminds me of those moments in the horror movies when if you put your feet over the side of the bed, there's something waiting under it to grab them. So rather than doing that, I actually jump off the bed trying to make not too much noise. Last thing I want my wife doing is running up the stairs or thinking that I'm a scaredy cat. I stand there for a minute on the floor after jumping off the bed, looking at the closet, thinking, why the hell did you give her the baseball bat when now you need it? I pick up the lamp off the dresser and I hold it in my hand after taking off the light shade because I'm about ready to beat the hell out of whatever or whoever is in my closet. So I tell it, come out of my damn closet right now before I break this thing over your head. I'm giving you 5 seconds. I'm counting to 5. That's all you got. 5, 4, 3, 2. Come on out now. Yet sure enough, nothing and nobody comes out. Now I'm really scared and I got cold chills all over my body. I turn on the light. The same light that's in my hand. And as soon as I turn it on, all the clothes that are hanging on the hook in the closet are spread apart. And I know that's not how I left them earlier. It's enough room for somebody to stand there. I hold the lamp in my hand as I move closer, and then I feel a tug, realizing that the cord isn't long enough to reach right in front of the closet. My wife comes running up the stairs, stomping, flying around the door. What the hell is going on up here, Jim? I was sleeping and having a damn good dream. What are you yelling about? What's wrong with you? I look at her and she looks at me and she sees the lamp in my hand with it turned on, the lamp shade off. She looks at the closet, looks at me and says, what the hell is going on, Jim? I'm scared to tell her what I experienced because I already know how she is. She believes in things and I don't. To me, my mind is just playing tricks on me. For her, I already know something very serious in her mind is going on. Till nothing at all. Just thought I heard somebody by the window. Oh, but you thought you heard somebody by the window, Jim. You thought you heard somebody by the window here on the second floor, by the window where there is no tree? What are they going to do, scale the wall? Is Spider-Man outside the window? Is Spider-Man trying to come in here? Is that what's going on? Why in the hell are the clothes in the closet spread apart like that? That's the moment when I looked at her and I must have had a look of fear in my eyes, because that's the same moment that I realized I didn't just marry a wife. I married my friend. And I guess she saw it in my eyes. And the voice got real soft as she said to me, Jim, I ain't gonna judge you or be mad at you. What happened? Talk to me. So I tell her what happened and she walks a little closer to me. She comes on around the door and she has a baseball bat already ready in her hand. She chucks it over to me. I catch it in midair. She jumps over the bed. Come on, stand by my side. She tell me on 3, I want you to keep your eyes on that closet, all right, Jim? Put the light down by the floor. I put the light down by the floor. She squats down, looks under the bed, and there's nothing there. I keep my eyes on the closet. She stands back up and tells me there's nobody under the bed. She asks me again, Jim, I'm going to ask you a question now, and I want you to be real honest with me, all right? All right, baby, I'm going to be real honest with you. Jim, is that vessel in our closet? Answer immediately, yes it is. All right. What else happened, Jim? Did anything else happen other than what you told me? No, nothing else happened. I just thought it was you next to me in the bed. Are you sure? Then it crossed my mind how earlier, before even the party, I heard a few whispers calling my name. I told her about that. She looks at me and rolls her eyes, shaking her head. And she says to me, Jim, I didn't want to say it, but now I'm going to say it. I told you, get rid of the damn thing. Don't bring it in our house. But it's so pretty, though, and I just thought you might like it. But I made it clear when you brought it in and showed it to me. I didn't even like it before I turned around and looked at it. And then when I saw it, I even more so didn't like it. I told you I'll drive it up the road and throw it over the cliff. Now that damn thing's in our closet, no telling what the hell's inside of it. Sweetheart, you believe in all of that stuff. I don't. Well, why the hell don't you, Jim? Why the hell don't you? Think about the day. Who you gonna believe? Yourself or me? Why would I make up you standing in the bathroom for 20 minutes staring at water like you ain't never seen it before it come out of the faucet? I was quiet and didn't say anything. I wasn't even here to witness somebody getting in bed with you, tugging you, you rubbing somebody else's hind other than mine. It definitely wasn't mine, because if it was, I would have told you. You don't believe in it, huh? I told you, Jim. Things happen in this world that people don't want to accept or believe in, but I have my experiences, and that's why I'm the way I am. Now give me that damn baseball bat. And as I give it to her, she goes flying over by the closet, beating and swinging at the clothes and anything that's inside, yelling, screaming like an Amazon woman that's just gone apeshit. Sure enough, nothing's there. I set the lamp down and I turn on the bedroom light. I walk over to the closet. I move the boxes around on the shelf. There's the vessel right there. Before I even touch it, I hear again, Jim. I take a few steps back and I tell her I heard it again. It just did it again. What just did it again? What are you talking about? It called my name. Who called your name? The vessel. It called your name? What did it say? It said Jim. I just told you, woman, it said Jim. You wanted it here, now it's here. Now you're scared of it? Boy, I don't understand, man. Want to be so big and strong, but I tell you can't stand a water bug running over your foot. Anywho, she moves me out of the way, kind of shoving me a little bit, reaches up and grabs the damn vessel. And the moment she does, she goes into some kind of state where she looks like she's having a seizure. I catch her in my arms as she's falling back. Sure enough, the vessel goes falling, and I didn't want it to break because God knows what was inside of it. So I catch her on my left arm, and I catch the vessel in my right and lean her back on the floor, all soft and gentle. And I go down on my knees. I lay her on her back, and she's twitching and shaking, the eyes rolled back in her head, and I'm about ready to call 911 because the last thing I want is my baby dying on my bedroom floor in my arms. I try to hold her down while the vessel is sitting there, and I'm telling her, it's all right, sweetie, it's all right, I'm here, calm down, it's all right. I have no experience with these things, and I have not the slightest idea what to do, and I'm freaking out now because now I feel alone. And the only person I can talk to is now twitching on the floor. And this damn vessel is sitting here, and I feel like it's laughing at me. I look at it, and sure enough, how she's twitching all over the floor. I look at the vessel, I look at her, and I'm trying to give her my attention. Sweetie, it's all right, sweetie, it's all right. I'm right here. I'm going to call 911. And then out of nowhere, I hear it again. Chill. Let me help her. I spin around and I look at that vessel, and I don't want to believe I'm hearing what I'm hearing. And sure enough, I look at her and she's twitching. I'm scared she might die at any moment. And the room is silent again, and she starts foaming at the mouth, and I just say, all right, help her, for crying out loud, don't let her die, help her. And sure enough, a few minutes later, her twitching calms down. And then her body from shaking all over the floor calms down. Next thing you know, she's laying there and she's breathing. Her eyes roll back into place, and I'm right there next to her holding her hand, and she's squeezing mine as I'm squeezing hers, and she looks at me and says, Jim? Yes, baby, I'm here. What's wrong? You all right? Are you all right? I'm moving the hair out of her face, and she tells me, I think I'm all right. What just happened? Sure enough, I leave her laying there so she can just balance out for a little bit. I don't want her getting dizzy. And I tell her, well, I was going to the phone to call 911, and she looks at the vessel before I can finish, and she looks at me. She looks at the vessel again, and she says, where did that beautiful thing come from? Never seen nothing like that in my life. I look at the vessel, and I'm thinking, what the hell? 10 minutes ago, this woman was hating this thing with a passion. Now she thinks it's the most beautiful thing she's ever seen. Jim, where'd you get that vessel from? I got it out of the creek earlier the river when I went fishing, remember? Oh, right. I remember, yeah. I remember. You wanted me to get rid of it. I'll get rid of it right now. It doesn't seem like things are going too well with it. She's quiet for a moment. And then she says, no, I think it's all right. I think we can make a space for it downstairs on the bookcase. It's not so bad after all. Besides, you like it anyway, don't you? Sure enough, I look at it and something comes over me, and I can't help but say I do like it. It is nice, right? It's very nice. In fact, I think I love it. Didn't you say you wanted to give it to me as a gift? The whole time she's still on the floor, sitting up a little bit now. Well, I did, but I wasn't sure after I saw how much you hated it, but I didn't think you'd come around this fast. Oh, I've come around, and now I think we should keep it. I don't see the point of getting rid of it. Ain't no point in getting rid of it. Sure enough, we keep the vessel. I help her up. She drinks some water. I go downstairs and I get the pillow and the blanket that she had when she was sleeping on the couch, and I bring it upstairs, and as soon as I come around the corner to enter her room, I see her sitting on the edge of the bed holding the vessel in her hand, looking at it and admiring it as though it's a lump of gold. She looks up at me with these big, wide, watery puppy dog eyes and a smile that's out of this world, making me remember why every reason I ever wanted to marry her. And she looks up at me and says, "Oh, Jim, I really love this thing. This is absolutely beautiful." I'm quiet for a moment, and I'm thinking it's nice, but should I ask her to open it? We never opened it. And before I get a word out, she says, "Let's open it tomorrow and see what's inside." I'm thinking, all right. She sets it on the dresser there, next to the bed. And then she moves it over to the nightstand, on the other side of the bed. She lays down, and then she gets up and she moves it onto another dresser that's in the room, across the room. And she walks back over to the bed and lays down on her back, puts a pillow behind her head, stays staring and looking at it. And then she says to me, "Jim, would you mind picking up that lampshade, putting it back on the lamp and turning it off, and come on over here to bed, sweetheart. Think it's time for some husband and wife time. Ooh, I sure am tired from all that cooking." Sure enough, I do what she says and put the lampshade on, put the lamp back on the desk. I hop in bed and, well, on into the night we do what married people do. The next morning I wake up feeling so relaxed, energized. I turn over to go find her and she ain't even there. I look around the room and she's gone, sunlight's coming in, the vessel's gone off the dresser from across the room. I get up, put on my night clothes, go downstairs, and here I find her standing at the kitchen sink. The vessel's in the window, right in the sunlight, and she's leaning all over the kitchen sink like she's sunbathing, only the shadow of that vessel against her body. I walk over to her and stroke her hair and give her a good morning kiss. "Morning, darling. You all right?" She looks up at me with big, watery, beautiful eyes, and she tells me, "Oh, I'm just fine. Just fine. Good morning. You want some breakfast?" Quiet for a minute as I'm looking at this vessel and how the sunlight is hitting it, and I look back at her and I say, "That sounds nice. It sounds nice. I probably got about a good hour and a half before I got to get out of this door and get to work." "All right." She turns around and she walks over by the cabinet and puts on an apron, not facing me. She starts asking, "What'll it be for breakfast this morning?" "Oh, eggs is good." "Eggs it shall be. Would you like some pancakes too?" "I'd love some pancakes, sure, why not?" "Bacon?" "I'll go with some turkey bacon, how about that?" "All right, you got it." I go to the bathroom so I can shower and get ready for work. As soon as I come back, everything's ready and laid out on the table for me. I didn't have to ask for anything. Had my cup of tea, had my cup of coffee, everything I needed for my meal. Before I leave, I'm just about to go outside. Sure enough, my wife comes by me, closes the door and locks it. Starts undoing my tie and undoing my buttons on my shirt and undressing me right there on the door. Sure enough, she shoves me back on the stairs. Well, again, I don't know what's gotten into her. It's never happened before, but right there in the doorway, we do what married people do. When we're done, fix my clothes on me. She fixes her hair. Put my shirt on, put my tie back on. I tell you, this time and last night was both times like it hasn't been before. She's been way more into it. Almost like she's not herself. Don't get me wrong, I'm liking it. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. It's great. But it's not my wife that I'm used to, and I'm starting to wonder what brought on this change. Anyhow, I shake it off and I get on out the door and figure, you know what? The woman's happy. Hey, I'm gonna keep it moving. I go to work that night. I go to work that day. Had a pretty good day at work. Day went by so easy, and all day long, I don't know what came over me, but I just kept thinking about being back at home with my wife, doing what married people do. As soon as the time came to leave work, I head on home. Mind you, for some reason, and I'm aware of it, I'm rushing. I'm rushing to get home. Even ran a red light or two, possibly even a stop sign. Pull up in the driveway. Before I get my key out good to unlock the door comes open and she's standing there in a robe, waiting to do what married people do. Before I get in good, she's all over me right there in the doorway. I'm telling her, hold on, lady, let me close the door at least. She seemed like someone was possessing her. Just tearing off my tie and shirt and clawing at my skin. Before I know it, we had did what married people do right there by the door. I asked her when we're finished, are you all right? And she seems to have changed within the hours I left her from this morning, and she says, oh, I'm just fine, Jim. I'm just fine. I feel so great. I feel so wonderful. Whew. I could use a shower. How about you? I stand there quiet for a moment and I tell her, yeah, I feel just fine. Could probably use a shower, and I think I'm gonna go take one. I'd like to wash off the day and maybe read a newspaper and see what football game is on and relax. It's quiet for a moment. Her eyes are just staring at me almost like there ain't nobody home. And then out of nowhere, she laughs and giggles. All right, Jim. Well, let's go shower. As I'm thinking to myself, I kind of wanted to shower alone. But of course, something tells me that's not getting ready to happen. So I go and ask her, because it crosses my mind. Hey, dear, sweetie pie? Yes, Jim. What is it, sweetheart? Where's that vessel at? Oh, don't you worry about that. We got it all taken care of. It's put away. It's fine. It's fine, Jim. It's fine. I noticed her voice changing a little bit. She's sort of sounding like herself at times, and other times she's not. I don't say anything because I don't really know what to make of it all. I ask her, well, did you ever crack it open and see what was inside? And she tells me, no, I did not open it and see what was inside. I don't know why, but all day it's just been so pretty to look at. I didn't think about it. But now that you're here, maybe we can do it together after we shower. You want to go shower? Let's go shower, Jim. She takes me by my hand and she's pulling me to the bathroom upstairs. You go in the bathroom and get in the shower, and well, there's a lot of fun things happening. And then we do what married people do. And it happens in the shower. And I can't complain because, well, that kind of stuff you do, well, who doesn't it feel good to? We finish our shower and we get out. And every time we finish, she always seems like she's a little bit different. She always seems a little, I don't know, just different. Sort of like something that drains her energy, but yet I'm not feeling tired yet. Anyway, we dry off, go downstairs, sit on the couch in our robes. I look at her, she looks at me. We're not really talking much. I look at the vessel in the kitchen from where I'm sitting, and I swear to God, I feel like it's looking right back at me. I can feel her eyes on me. I look at her, and she's got the most determined, blank stare, bloodthirst, hunger in her eyes I have not seen before. Out of nowhere, she shoves me back on the couch, tears open my robe, and, well, she gets on top of me, and again, we're doing what married people do. Mind you, I'm struggling a little bit because I ain't the youngest man, but at the same time, I'm not that old and need a little bit of time to fuel up. Anyway, we get it going, and we do what married people do. And then again, when we're done, she's giggling and laughing all over the place again. She's giggling in a way I never heard her giggle before. Now I'm starting to get nervous. For some reason, after this last time of doing what married people do, I'm feeling a little drained and tired. And then out of nowhere, I hear the whisper coming again, and this time it's surrounding me from every side. My right side, left side, front of me, back of me. Felt like it was hovering over my head. I jump up and say, "Who is it? Who is that? Where are you? Where are you from? Who's there? Good God, Lord have mercy, woman, did you hear it?" And she just starts giggling and laughing all over the place again. Oh, Jim, hear what? Hear what, Jim? Hear what? What did you hear? I grab her by the throat, but not to hurt her, but to get her attention, and it's a soft grab, and I make her face look at me so I can look into her eyes, and I look deep into them, and I ask her, "Sweetie, are you there? You all right?" And she answers me in the way she normally would. "Why, yes, Jim, I'm fine. I'm doing just fine. I'm all right." I hold her gently in my hand, and I ask her, "Why you keep on laughing like that, and why does your voice keep on going in and out like you're two different people?" And sure enough, she stands up, and I let go of my soft grip around her neck. Now she's standing there, she walks even closer to me. Now her body's pushed up against mine, and we're staring into each other's eyes, and she starts kissing on my chest and rubbing my arms, and next thing you know, she's got her hands on my back, and she's rubbing that too, and all down my backside, and still looking at me, and we start to kiss. She starts to kiss me harder and harder, and I could fall into some kind of trance where I felt like I was standing there kissing her only for a few minutes. And as soon as she lets me go and I open my eyes, it's dark. It's fully, completely night. And she looks more young and youthful than I remember her looking, almost the way she looked when we got married 25 years ago. And she walks back away from me. And I'm wondering what the hell's going on because I don't feel right. And she starts laughing again. And I'm standing there and I don't know what to say, and I feel very uncomfortable, and then she takes her arm and points toward the mirror, and I look into it, and all I see is a patch of baldness over my head, and I look like I've been aged 50 years. And I look back at her, and she looks like she's gotten even 10 years younger. And I look back at the mirror, and in those few minutes it looks like I'd aged another 10 years, and I wonder to myself and say to her, "What the hell is going on, woman? What is this?" When I look back at her this time, her eyes are completely black. Her teeth are sharp and pointed. She looks like my wife, but it's not my wife. I fall to the ground from weakness due to old age that took me over in just, I guess you could say, hours. It felt like minutes. I fall to the ground, and as I do, she walks and stands over me looking down, and now I know it's not my wife. And all I can say is, please, please, whatever you are, please just go away and leave us alone. Please give me back my youth. I want to be young again, and I want my wife back. Please, we'll give you whatever you want. Just please leave us alone and give us back our lives. And sure enough, as my wife walks closer to me and stands over me, towering over me, as I feel myself fading out, all I hear her say, or rather all it says is, "Oh, Jim, I told you to let me help, and you did. Your wife told you, take me back to the river, and you didn't listen. Now, I shall live another 10,000 years. It's not the youth, Jim, that feeds me. It's the soft, meaty, tender texture of the heart. And I have been fed off yours." As I lay there and fade out, last question I get to ask before I go is, "What in the hell are you?" And it answers, "Everything that would make your hair grow if you only open